Okay, either we have the world's greatest life hack, or the worst abomination to hit this channel since the Bismarck sank in 1641. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is actually better than the Fuji XT4, and I'm gonna prove it.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we are filming on the Fuji XT200. I got that Synco mic up there because that's the only way. The Fuji preamps in this camera are so bad, and I just apologize in advance if it sounds like I'm drowning underwater in a pool of Chernobyl liquid, because that's basically what's happening. We have the preamps all the way down to -30, and then we're using the gain on the mic, so maybe this is somewhat tolerable audio. And we got the 10 to 24. Now here's what this video is all about. Is this more stable with digital stabe and lens stabe working together in a Canon-like fashion? Better than IBIS ever would want to. What's crawling on me? That was a daddy long leg. We're in Pro Neg, high or standard, I forget. I switched from one to the other. At least we have that. We don't have Eterna. Stepping, autofocus, compensations, not being made. Now, is it less stepping than the XT4 for some reason? Walking downstairs, stabilization in full effect. Alright, so here's the deal. On the XT4, if you have a stabilized lens, you have three options. You can either have IBIS plus lens stabe, or IBIS plus lens stabe and digital, or none of the above. You cannot do either lens stabe and no IBIS, or just IBIS and no lens stabe, or just digital. You can't even do that. So on the XT200, it doesn't have IBIS, so you can do just digital, and if we're using a lens stabe lens, we should have, that looked jerky, a Canon-like fashion, like a 15 to 35 type of thing, if it's working, in a $700 camera that was given to me by Henry's. Thank you so much, Henry's. Thanks for not wanting it back. That's nice of you. So have we been seeing warpy shit? Is it unusable? Because what I'm noticing, the warpy shit can be contained to where it's not really that big of a deal. Sometimes it's really bad, like G9 with the Laowa 7.5mm, that's terrible warpy shit. Very distracting. You're like, it's beaming you. Whereas like sometimes XT4 with this and digital slowly walking is usable. And that same Laowa lens on the Olympus, it's usable. Somewhat. A little bit. But let's not freak out. Let's not be perfectionists here. Looking for the perfect camera. What a stupid journey. Who would ever be on that journey? Not me. Now the XT200 had Fuji Assassins written all over it. The exposure, I don't know what the minimum or maximum shutter is. Probably not high enough. So, Fuji. This is hands down the best screen though in the business. It's unbelievable. 2.7 million dots or something like that. You can see every detail. I can see that I'm not in the rule of thirds. Therefore, shouldn't even be allowed to film. Is this good content? Walking by a graffiti wall, waiting for the nice friendly family to show up for some reason. So if this is actually working, it would be nice, Fuji, if you do a little firmware update and allow us to separate the different IBIS mechanisms. So let us try just IBIS and no lens stabe, or just lens stabe, no IBIS, just digital, combination of all three. Remove one, like it should be, we should be able to shut off each individually. How's the autofocus behaving? I tell ya, we shouldn't be filming like this. I realize it. Every camera loses me a little bit. We haven't had a cloud in like 3 weeks. Something about these just distracting. I don't know if Fuji, sometimes it'll see a face in the forest. Other times it's just too bright, it gets excited because Fuji wants to die and it's like, oh, there's the light. Oh, take me. Dr. Kevorkian, your ass, bitch. It's a lot lighter than the Fuji XT4, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I like that titanium gray up there. Well done. Why wasn't that an option I only had black or silver. I went with the black because silver looks weird. Your mom's weird. You know, even Olympus doesn't let you use just their digital. And what I've found, I think Panasonic IBIS is better than just Olympus IBIS. But with Olympus digital, they outcompete Panasonic with digital. So overall, if you want that crop, digital Stabe, Olympus is superior. But it's quite the crop. It's a 1.347 times crop. I did the math the other day. And so it ends up being like a 2.347 crop. So every, like that 12 mil Tony 2, that's a 28 mil what's happening? It's tight. And there's no wide examples, alternatives. Your mom doesn't know English either. We've been at 10 mil the whole time. And usually that's unusable on a Fuji XT4. And may I just say, that zoom rocker on this fucking camera, it sucks. It's so unsmooth. It's so stiff. Like you can't just turn it. I've never felt a lens do that. Sorry for swearing, children. For comedic effect. So we're at 12 mil. Is it any better or worse? I kicked the metal thing. No need to panic. This has I think a 10-minute or 15-minute record limit in 4K, but it can do 4K, and we're doing it now. Has it lost me much? It seems more sticky than the XT4. I don't understand it. Like, what the hell did they do? The camera wasn't finished. I thought it was newer. The XT3 never lost me like this. The XT4 is so much worse, and not a lot of people are talking about it, but they're starting to, now that me and Philip Bloom have led the way. See, like, this is very challenging. There's no way any camera should be able to perform in this situation. I'm like full shade and then flashes of brilliant light like I've been abducted by Satan. And then flashes in the trees. Vlogging is just stupid. Really stupid. The way I do it, not highly recommended. Let me know if you want to see a battle. I do have 2 copies of the 14mm 2.8, so we could do an exact test, XT4 versus XT200, see who autofocus is better, who has the better digital Stabe, does IBIS matter? I don't even need your opinion. I'm so on that test, it's not even funny. I'm doing it as soon as I get home and charge this battery that lasts 14 seconds. So let me know how this is performing. There's something about Fuji, I love it. Straight out of camera. Olympus is looking a little better, but Fuji's right there. For some reason, I'm gravitated towards it. And you can do the 240 frames per second slow-mo, which I just found an interesting life hack. Somebody left a comment saying it was the six-pack guy. He always leaves these comments about Olympus. Oh, they're so good. There was this Da Vinci hack that you could slow it down but smooth. There's some glitches, but you can slow it down even further, get 480 frames per second in Fuji. Wow. That piece of cinematic mastery that you just witnessed, that was just 120p, but I slowed it down twice as much to replicate a 240p, but you could see probably the finger motions wiggling. I'm not an alien, so be reasonable. How was the stabilization today? Was it super distracting? I'm not talking about if you're looking at the corners the whole time, was there any movement? I'm saying, is this too distracting to even watch? And is it worth the Fuji XT4 upgrading that feature in a firmware update, allowing us to separate the different stabilization methods? And how are we doing? Is the XT200 better? Has it had less focusing issues than the XT4? That's an embarrassing problem. Still, we push on. Thank you for watching. There's a lot of sharp things in my sandals right now. That hurts. I'm gonna leave. Thanks for buying it. Broccoli Man t-shirt. It's too bright. There it is. Alright, we're done. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you in the next.